to you for your number 2.
Yes, well...
Yes, number 2. Good grief. I think this has gone on longer than I think we first anticipated.
Well, you've got me on there, so that lengthens everything by about twice the time.
Nah, don't worry, you're not talking about Chippendale Rescue Rangers this time.
Oh, screw Chippendale Rescue Rangers and everything
so
that's part of it.
I might be bringing them up slightly, actually. Because do you remember that Disney did that like Saturday morning cartoon collection of games?
Yes, I loved it. I have got it on Steam and on the PS4. I have played it to death. I loved DuckTales on it, Chippendale 1 and 2. Darkwing Duck is clunky, but fine otherwise. DuckTales 2 was really good as well. So,
I am the game that clunks as you play it.
and then there's also a Tailspin. But yeah, no, I've played the heck out of that game a lot. So yeah, I love any of Digital Foundry's collections like that.
So this is very much would be in a similar style, I reckon. You would include the game I want remade along with the rest of the quote series unquote. And long-time LMC fans might have noticed that I've already played most of this series for LMC. Want to take a guess as to what it might be, Kevin?
I'm going to say, what could it possibly be? Now, I have no illusions of getting this right, but I'm gonna suggest that it might have been the Smurfs on the NES.
Very close, but not quite. So yes, the series is, I say series because I don't think it's technically a series, but they all seem to have the same name in it, which is the Illusion series.
The Castle of Illusion.
Castle of Illusion, World of Illusion, and the one I'm gonna pick as my remake, Land of Illusion. I think there's also Legend of Illusion, but I've never played that one.
What's the one that you keep saying you're going to play with Turbo at some point?
World of Illusion, which was a Mega Drive game. So there was...
Someday that will happen.
Someday.
When I travelled back up to Scotland.
Yeah, Scotland. That's the name of the place.
I was actually going to go with the town, but I was like, should I say the exact town Turbo lives in? Probably not.
I think it's known, in fairness.
I think it's known, but...
known knowledge, but
yes. Yeah. Anyway, so there were 2 different versions of Castle of Illusion, both of which are available to watch on LMC's YouTube channel, I believe, as well as Land of Illusion, which I think you co-commentated with me, Kev.
Yes.
And Land of Illusion is my favourite, which this is the one I would want to be remade. But, you know, ideally you could do something like the Saturday morning cartoon pack and just have all of the Illusion games in one package. You could also technically include the more recent Castle of Illusion from the ground up remake. I didn't enjoy that one as much as I enjoyed the originals, but that might just be personal nostalgia bias.
That's not up on LMC's YouTube yet, but Turbo did do it.
Turbo has done it, which is
Turbo's
why
done it. I've just not edited it yet.
Yeah. It's not a bad game. It's just I prefer the originals. That's just my opinion. But yeah, the series of games is just a nice little series of games. They're nice little kiddie games. They've got their flaws, but what games don't, I guess. Yeah, it's just a nice little series, and hey, I would love to see it. This is my other, this is for me choice, because admittedly you can play Castle of Illusion and World of Illusion on the original Mega Drive Mini. So you've always got that. You should check whether there's any Disney games on the Mega Drive Mini too, actually. At some point I will get round to recording Maui Mallard, maybe.
Please.
It's not a game from my childhood, so it's a bit of a weird one. But
it's been on the... You made the mistake of asking me one time what games I would like you to do, and it continues to be on that list.
I did play through the thing is, I've got to decide, am I playing the Mega Drive version or the SNES version, because they're different.
Oh, well, play one of them.
So we've got to play both? No, I'm going to play both of them. Just not at the same time.
Just frame it in such a
well,
way that every time you do a screen transition, it transitions to the different game.
Transition to the SNES version of the game. No, just do one. Do one and then come back to the other one in 5 years. Just get one done and out of the way. Maui Mallard, by the way. If you're not sure what that is, look it up. It's a really interesting game.
It is, although very weird to control, I will say that. Anyway, Land of Illusion is my pick for number 2. Again, go watch it on LMC's YouTube channel. It's a lovely little game. And it's, again, I reckon you could get away with just doing a collection pack, but to be honest, I'd love to see something similar to the Castle of Illusion remake they did for Land of Illusion, but maybe stick slightly closer to the game this time.
Conversely, actually, I wouldn't mind seeing the Illusion games remade, but in the style of the more recent Mickey Mouse cartoons.
Ooh.
With that Mickey and that aesthetic.
That could be really good.
That would be really nice, I think.
Because the other one I was
it's so crazy, it's so crazy sort of stuff that I think that version of Mickey would actually fit better than classic Mickey, which we sort of got with the more recent version of Castle of Illusion.
Yeah, no, I would love to see that actually. The other game I was going to throw in there was Power of Illusion, which is technically not part of that series. It's part of the Epic Mickey series, but it was the DS game and it had a lot of influence from the Illusion games. So, I really want that now because they've recently done a Disney game that's using that style as well.
They're recently, if it's not coming.
Yeah.
At the time of recording, it's not out, and I can't remember for the life of me what it's called or what it's about even. Other than it's like multiplayer.
I have very strong Rayman Legends vibes from it.
I had actually very strong Sonic Boom. DS or 3DS game vibes in terms of the multiplayer of Fire and Ice and stuff like that. I thought it looked a bit like with the mechanics, but
yeah, I'm interested in seeing how that game does. Although I believe it's a Switch only game.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, it's meant to be a kids game, so I kind of see that. Trying to find it, I'm just getting loads of different Mickey Mouse games from Generations. So, I really want to see it in that style now.
Now you said that, I now want Mickey Mouse Generations. Sonic Generations, but with Mickey Mouse, just like all
that
various
could
versions
work,
of Mickey.
Couldn't it? I mean, you kind of had that with Mickey's Epic Adventure, I think it was.
One of them was sort of in that ballpark.
Yeah,
there's definitely been animated cartoons and what have you. I think that have played around with that idea a little bit, but actually having it as Donald. Actually, having Donald has to go and get all the Mickeys. You can call it Hidden Mickey Generation.
The new Mickey Mouse game is called Illusion Island.
Oh.
A new game in the Illusion series.
just to confuse matters and muddy the waters even more.
Yeah. Disney Illusion Island, yeah. But yeah, that is my number 2. Yeah, it could be. Hope you know what, Disney, I'll make it if you give me the money and the crew.
This can only end.
Go on then, Random Genius. What's your number 2?
So, my number 2 choice. So, technically, this has had a re-release, but it's a bare bones re-release with a few little extras here and there. But I think this would certainly benefit from an expanded remastering and extra features. So, we all know how much fun we have had playing the recent TMNT Shredder's Revenge game.
Yes.
So, my choice is to do a full re-release, or sort of not full re-release, because that was part of the Cowabunga collection, which is really good if you're interested in that kind of thing, but a full remake from the ground up using the animation style from Shredder's Revenge and such for TMNT 4 Turtles in Time, specifically the SNES version, because there was a re-release or remake of the arcade version that didn't go well, to put it mildly. But if they could do Turtles in Time, the SNES version, in the same vein as what they did for Shredder's Revenge, have more than 2-player co-op integrated into the game, have more incorporate some of the quality of life stuff from Shredder's Revenge and such, I think that would be a really solid remaster.
Yeah, fair enough. I can imagine
A short and sweet one for this one.
I can imagine a lot of people would want that as well. I mean the Turtles game. I'm not as familiar with the old Turtle games, so it's hard for me to really gauge.
Likewise.
To be honest, same here. Shredder's Revenge was the first Turtles game I actually played.
Okay, I
It
had
was a
played.
good place to start, and also the worst place to start.
I played what I think is the old NES one, but I played it on PC, and I remember a lot of floppy disks with it. But yeah, no, I've definitely dabbled with the Turtles arcade style game beat 'em up games mostly through emulation again. But yeah, I can imagine remastering them in the Shredder's Revenge style would go down well, but it'd just be how much of a market would there be for it, I guess.
Plus that netcode again.
And also, those combos.
Don't. Hurt so bad.
But yeah, out of interest, why particularly the SNES version and not, say, the Mega Drive version?
So the Mega Drive version is Hyperstone Heist, which is technically different. Now, mainly because I prefer the feel of the Mega Drive. I prefer the feel of Turtles in Time, and the SNES version has more features on it than the arcade version, surprisingly.
Yeah, fair. I just want to know your reasoning.
Yeah, the SNES game has extra stages and such.
Fair. Slightly shorter and sweeter one, I think. Yeah, I wonder with the Hyperstone collection. What's it called?
Cowabunga collection.
Cowabunga collection. I'm wondering with that whether that would deter them from doing it too soon.
True. But you never know.
True. Again, how long did it take them to remaster The Last of Us again? That's your time frame.
Jeez, yeah. Anyway, Mr. Kevin, I think it is your choice.
It is indeed. For choice number 4 from my list. Right. So next choice is one that is a game that I've only played in the grand scheme of things in a very limited amount of time, but I have a great admiration for it and its ability to just make people smile. Yes, everybody, just like the names of annoying dinosaurs from Star Fox games, it's tricky. Yeah, it's tricky. SSX tricky.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I will grant you, before we begin, that SSX3 is the far superior game. However, I would also say that Tricky is the game that makes people smile more, and it's just so damn fun. It's SSX Tricky is sort of in the same really weird little fenced-off area of gaming like Crazy Taxi, in that you can pick it up whenever. You can pick it up whenever, just blast for a couple of levels or what have you, and you're done and you're happy and you're in a far better place there afterwards. And it doesn't matter, it will still be there later on. It doesn't matter whether or not you're ignoring story or progression or have you. No, just play. Just want to go down a mountain and do a load of tricks and do a bunch of nonsense, most of which is highly unrealistic. and it's just so much fun.
This is one of those ones which I've heard so much about and never played.
That's the thing. I am in no way a fan of the series. I have never owned an SSX game.
Is this another EA one, or
it is SSX is EA? Yeah.
So that's why you didn't have
Tricky
Need
was
for Speed
all,
Underground.
Tricky was all. I know. Well, I thought of Free immediately just because it's, like I say, it's the more popular game of, but no, it's Tricky is the way to go.
Tricky's the one I remember more.
Yeah, that's the thing. People know that Free is the better game, but Tricky is the one that I think people have better memories of. Because it's difficult to explain this nowadays, because I mean it's not like there's a whole heap of snowboard games out there, let's be honest.
No, because like Ubisoft attempted, what was it, Steep, and it didn't really take
Steep
off.
or Peak or
something like that,
something or the other. Slope.
The only other snowboarding game I know of is 1080 degrees.
Oh, 1080 yeah, degrees snowboarding was the other one, isn't it?
What was the other one? Snowboard Kids?
Yeah.
Sure, why not? Let's just assume
N64.
On the Piste, that was one.
Don't know that one.
On the Piste, it's an Avalanche.
Mario and Sonic at the
PS2
Olympic
only.
Winter Games.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, they weren't bad games usually.
Crazy Sherpas, that was another one.
Slalom from Rare back in the late 80s.
Yeah. Mega Ultra Force G, that was another one. You haven't guessed I've made all of those up. But yeah, no. I give me a reason why not is the answer. There's not exactly any problem in terms of licensing with this, right?
Again, this is one I can see EA doing, because EA seems to be okay with doing the odd remake. I mean, what was it, Dead Space remake they're doing at the moment?
Yeah.
Well, there's been SSX games in recent memory.
Have there?
But yes, hang on a minute. I'm certain there was one not that many years ago. But then again, we've confirmed at this point not that many years ago is at least 2015. So SSX franchise.
2012 was the last one.
Was it really? No, surely not. Surely not. There must have been more.
Oh no, they did a mobile one in 2013.
There you go. I mean, close enough.
Whatever you say.
It deserves to come back just because it was one of those franchises that deemed itself necessary to go on the N-Gage. Yeah, this is because this is where it all went wrong. All right, because I mean, Tricky and Tricky was 2001, guys. Jeez. But you had a situation whereby the most recent one, which it was in recent years of a decade ago, and I'm reading the Wikipedia article here. SSX features real-world environments mapped by NASA satellites. And unlike previous ones, did not include local multiplayer. Can you see why this died?
Yeah.
Can you see why it went away from this cartoon nonsense to, oh yes, it's just realism? No. Just no.
Hey, so what we're saying is remake SSX tricky, and particularly tricky, but if you got a second one up you, what was the better one?
SSX3 is the superior title in terms of
remake that one second
everything.
If tricky does well.
And hey, SSX3 came out on the Gizmondo.
Oh gosh.
So give us that, you cowards!
I was half expecting you to say the game.com.
No, nor is it out on the Tiger R Zone. Or is it? Bring us them, you cowards! Do it!
Well, we say we
no
want
balls! No balls!
When we say we want video game preservation, we want all the games.
All of it!
Not only the good ones, we want the bad ones as well.
And while we're on the subject, why haven't we had a remaster of those Tomy water games with the rings and everything where you push the button?
No. They first need to make a remake of that little steering wheel
yes!
car game.
Oh my god, I am totally on board with you on this. That is one of the greatest non-video games that has ever existed. And I can't remember if it was Tonka or Tomy or what.
It was one.
But I know exactly the one you mean. The little gear stick just made it go faster.
Yes.
On like a dashboard screen with a very tiny wheel. Get me this for Christmas. This is your challenge now. I want one.
I've already got your Christmas.
And frankly, if you're at home and you know what this is, now so do you.
I will say, your Christmas present is related to racing, so...
Excellent. You've ported Underground 1 and 2 for me. That's very kind of you.
Yeah.
Not quite.
But yeah, do that and like I say, bring it to the R Zone and bring it to Gamecom and Gizmondo. And I'll tell you what, how about Google Stadia? You can have that. But just do that, or any of the other
better
services.
Get on it pretty quickly.
Oh god, what was that streaming service I've actually got a T-shirt for and went to the launch at Eurogamer? I can't remember what it is.
Oh, I know which one you mean.
Yeah, it's a tiny little black box with the orange symbol, and I can't remember what the thing's called now. It died very quickly. I owned one game on it, which was, I think, the Deus Ex more modern, successful game. Before it
died.
Before they panicked and just tried to shove out a load of content for it under the same umbrella, and it was nearly as good and it died. Yeah.
Yep. Well, final one. So this is my number one. This is the one I want the most. And to be honest, if this is going out on Radio Sega, I think there's going to be a lot of Radio Sega fans celebrating this one. So, yeah, this is a game I first played. I never played the original on the Dreamcast. I did play the remake on the GameCube. You've already guessed what it is, then.
That might be my number one choice as well.
Is it Skies of Arcadia?
Yes.
Well, isn't this a coinky-dink? It's not mine.
Yeah, I know.
So go on, the pair of you.
Yay, crossover.
Yay.
Skies of Arcadia. Okay, let me put it this way. I will settle for a PC port. That is all I want of this game. But,
yeah,
if you're going to remake it, oh my god, this game has some unique systems that it really hasn't been replicated elsewhere. And, I mean, for me, the pirate theme is... mwah. And to be honest, I'm not entirely sure how you could do a sequel to this game. So, bring back Skies of Arcadia Legends, please.
Yeah.
I still have my GameCube copy, but I want it on PC to make it easier, and then I can mod it. And then, Skies of Arcadia Legends, please.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree wholeheartedly with what Worth said. Arcadia Legends was such a different vibe of game for me, because up to that point, the exposure to RPGs I had was Final Fantasy and a couple of one-off games here and there. Skies of Arcadia Legends was the first one that actually sort of got me, and actually sort of got me invested in the characters, into the world a lot more. And much as I'd love 9, I never actually finished that. Skies of Arcadia Legends was one I just sat through and finished, and it just hit that right spot for me, and it's just become such a focal point for where RPGs sit in the grand scheme of things. And realistically, in my opinion, it's only really been bettered by the Persona series, as you may have guessed. But I honestly, sort of, if I were given a choice, I would happily play Arcadia Legends over Final Fantasy or Persona any day. It holds that much of a space in my gaming history and such for me, to the extent where I have actually, I did actually buy an official Dreamcast version of Skies of Arcadia to go alongside Skies of Arcadia Legends, because I just love it that much, and I would love for this to be shown across, say, multiple things. A PC port itself would just be great, but yeah, build it up, have that sort of story be told once more.
And it's not, Sega haven't forgotten about the series, which I think is at least somewhat reassuring.
Well, Sumo Digital haven't forgotten about.
Well, no, I was going to say they have done a fair few bits of licensing in the last couple of years. They re-released the soundtrack, and there's a statue of Ica coming that got pre-orders last year. So, this one is one of those ones where it's like, do I think it's going to happen? It's so hard to tell with Sega. But I think if they do redo it, please give it the love and care you gave Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz, because that was so good. But yeah, both mine and the Random Genius #1, Skies of Arcadia Legends. I mean, it's not the best JRPG out there, but it's so unique and so memorable. Like, the fact that your special attack is the crew you make on your ship is just so well done.
Yeah.
There's so many good parts in this game.
And it's the wide open world, the fact that you can do all sorts, the discoveries, the side quests and such. And I have to say, parts of the final boss and such still stick in my mind to this day, because it was just that inventive.
See, the final boss I feel like is one of the weakest parts, but...
Well, I'd say one of the aspects of it really struck a chord with me, and possibly I may have done something in the game that actually made that easier. Not saying anything for spoilers, but yeah, but realistically, I think, yeah, that would be fine. Just a re-release on Steam or PC or whatever, and I would be happy. If only to hear that boss music again.
From 16-bit classics to modern epics and everything in between. Join us for more great gaming tunes here on Radio Redux.
Sega, I will even let you release it on Epic just because then it's easier for us to mod it.
Yeah, I love the dynamic music in the standard boss battles. That blew me away when I was younger.
Yeah, no,
Not
that's
heard
fair.
anything like that before.
That was quite an early usage of dynamic music. wasn't it?
Yeah, quite an early one. But yes,
There you go. So, Sega as usual, especially with the Dreamcast. Just leading the way.
yeah. I mean,
Just
to be
showing us what we'll all be taking for granted in 10 years.
This is the one choice where it's like, okay, technically Land of Illusion was Sega as well, but license holders Disney now, so Skies of Arcadia is definitely still with Sega as far as I'm aware. Again, Sega, pay me, I will bloody port it.
Hey, pirate game.
Sega, just pay him anyway, please.
It would be nice.
Let him do those ports we were talking about earlier.
So, Bossman, what's your
right.
number one?
Well, I'm a little bit... you know what? I took something off thinking that young Mr. Ian here might actually bring it up as his number one. Right, so...
You put it back on your list now.
No, actually, I'm not. For a very good reason.
Ooh.
Now, we're going to dip into the Zelda franchise here. I'm going to tell you that now.
Fair enough.
And when I think about what was done with Link's Awakening...
What, the recent one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Please have this in mind. Sure. Because if they can do that for Link's Awakening, they can do that for pretty much freaking anything. But it was such a lovely little aesthetic, I thought, how that was presented. And initially I had down Link to the Past, which is my favourite Zelda game. It is something that I will be racing TA Black on at some point.
Eventually.
Much like all the other races we're going to do, eventually.
Yeah.
And I thought about this, and then I thought, then I sort of started, does 4 swords count?
Yeah.
Under the rules of this, but does that then disqualify Link to the Past? The answer to which I think is no. I think they're very much their own separate entities, to be honest. And I was gonna go with this right up until I thought, and we started discussing this at the beginning, and Earth mentioned something, and it's another double. I'm afraid it's another multi-pack.
I think I know.
But me saying that might give the game away.
Yeah.
There are 2
Oracle of Seasons, Oracle of Ages.
I want to play these games.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah, I was wholeheartedly agree with that one.
Yeah, you could get it on the 3DS shop, which I did because I had some spare cash. Managed to get one of them, but that's now gone. There is no option to ability to play it now. There's no ability to get it, and considering the intertwined story, the Pokemon-esque 2 sides of what's going on, with the twin cartridges in the games, it's just it was such at the time. I mean, there was some heavy hitters on the mobile front with Zelda, but at that time in was it mid-90s or mid to late 90s? Was it 97, 98? When did that come out?
February 27th, 2001.
I was thinking
What?
2000s.
Yeah.
No, surely not.
According to Wikipedia, came out in Japan February 27th, 2001.
Well, I must have had an early release copy, which I didn't have. But Yeah, 2000. Okay, it feels like from an earlier time actually in the series that Oracle of Season Oracle Age. It was a humongous smash.
Yeah.
And it was with that somewhat Link to the Past look and feel about it, simplified obviously, but I just think it would work so well to see that as the next one that's converted, brought back, remastered, whatever, remade.
Include the missing third game.
Was there a missing third game?
I think there was meant to be free because there's free oracles, isn't there?
Yeah, there was supposed to be a third one, but they couldn't quite get the multi-link working with 3 games, so they just stripped it down to 2.
I can't remember what the last one was called, but the last one would have had the green oracle. I can't remember her name.
Be Feor?
Probably.
Yeah, because blue is Nehru, red is Din, so green must be Feor.
Probably sounds right. But then again, it's not the only time they've forgotten one of them, because I believe in Minish Cap you can only do 2 of the oracles. The third one gets left out.
That's an intentional gag. That is an intentional thing by the developers, because the developer of Oracle of Ages Seasons also developed Minish Cap. Hi, Capcom. So they purposely did that. So basically it was a sort of an in-joke just to say, oh yeah, you can link with these 3 people who are sort of the XPs of the goddesses, but only 2 of them get houses, just as a throwback to Ages Seasons.
There you go then.
Yeah, it was just that it was just referred to as the third oracle, but in places, but
yeah, Feor.
Who knows what it would have been called,
yeah, Feor did end up being the host of the Secrets House, where you could do the link between the 2 games with passcodes and such.
I don't think there is actually a need for that third game, but
if
it opened the door to it, I wouldn't exactly say no. But there's it holds a very high grade, very high score amongst critics and fans alike.
Yeah, again,
and it goes back to the whole sort of completionist nature of franchises and filling gaps. That's really the Zelda series' gap now.
Yes, although Minish Cap is going to start to fall into that gap as well, I think.
Absolutely, but
yeah, these need...
again, it's that early mobile game set again, isn't it?
Yeah.
But if you've the only other thing that was part of that was Link's Awakening, so would it not make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you want
to give that a bit?
Would you want it in the same style visually as Link's Awakening, or would you want it to be?
You know what I would like to see in the style? I mean, update the style of Link Between Worlds, which was in itself a modernization of Link to the Past style.
Yeah.
So you take that and you bring that up to date a little bit with everything that you can do with better graphics, and obviously not on the 3DS anymore. Also, Link Between Worlds is also one in that sort of category of endangerment of falling into the abyss. But do that modern style Link to the Past aesthetic, because that would work with it, and you can also take what you've learnt from Link's Awakening and shove it in there as well. That's what I would do anyway.
There's so many games in certainly in the mobile Zelda stuff that I would love to see, properly preserved in the Switch and newer consoles.
Yeah.
Actually, just have a quick Zelda Legend of Zelda for mobile devices. Hang on, let's go to mobile devices. Let's have a look. See. I
mean, technically, you also have Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, because they're 3DS remakes, which I prefer those versions over the N64 ones.
Yeah, but that has come out on other things. Majora's Mask.
Only only N64 and the Wii U shop, I think. And then the 3DS version.
Did it get the GC port in the end? I can't remember if it did.
Was it part of the Legacy Collection? Because Legacy Collection definitely had 1, 2, and Ocarina of Time.
The Collector's Edition. Hang on,
Yeah.
I'll reach over to my shelf and tell you.
I think it was in one version of the GC one, but not any of the ones I could get. I think
Yes, it was.
it was.
It was on the Collector's Edition promotional disc, which had Legend of Zelda, Zelda 2, Adventures of Link, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask, and the playable demo of Wind Waker. But yes, please.
Yeah, no, I would love to
please.
play the Oracle games to their fullest, because even like emulating is very difficult to do the link stuff between the two. So yeah, I would be more than happy for that. But after you've done with that, you then go Minish Cap, because I really enjoyed that one. And then you've got I know most people don't like it, but I quite enjoyed Phantom Hourglass. And then Spirit Tracks.
Yeah, and then you can do Link to the Past and Four Swords, if you really want to.
And we will not speak of Triforce Heroes.
We'll not speak of Triforce Heroes.
Well, there's also more than one version of Four Swords, remember?
Yes.
So.
There's Four Swords, which was part of the Link to the Past thing, and then there was Four Swords Adventures, which was for the GameCube.
Also, Faces of Evil, Want of Gambling, and Zelda's Adventure. Go on, you know you want it.
Oh yes, I mean,
Tingle's Balloon Flight, or
Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land,
and the sequel.
Sequel in which it's apparently Wizard of Oz themed.
Yes,
what I recall.
I believe
there was a DSiWare. Remember that, everybody? There was a DSiWare collection of 5 Tingle themed tools called Dekisugi Tingle Pack from 2009, which included a fortune teller, timer, calculator, music program, and coin game.
I feel like I may have downloaded that.
Yep, Irazuki Tingle No Coin No Balloon Trip, which is the sequel to 2006 freshly picked Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land, as you mentioned.
Yep.
What else have we got? Twilight Princess version of My Nintendo Picross.
Oh, that was a fun little distraction.
And then there's a whole heap of other stuff. Also, bring the audio dramas. Sure, remake those. And while you're on the subject, remake that Legend of Zelda Link to the Past dancing Japanese advert. Do that.
Yes.
Let's play that as a mini game. Go on.
Oh,
go on, you cowards.
I mean, technically we had that with Cadence of Hyrule, so...
Technically, actually, yeah, you're quite right. Double down it, you cowards.
Any honourable mentions then while we're on the subject?
Purely because it was a game from my childhood and I had immense nostalgia to it. The Apogee platformer Hocus Pocus. If Ember Heart Games have done remakes of stuff like Crystal Caves and Secret Agents, they can't do much wrong than Hocus Pocus.
Fair.
I mean, nobody would probably buy it or play it but me. I would be interested in actually just buying the rights to this game. Funny enough, I legitimately, somebody's able to tell me who owns it now. Star Goose.
Fair enough.
Give me the Star Goose franchise. I will do things with it.
Almost made it on my list, but I decided to replace it with Banjo-Kazooie 2E, Donkey Kong 64. Because I just want all those collectathon games. It's the only Donkey Kong game I really liked. Donkey Kong Country's Return was okay as well. And, obligatory Smash Brothers Melee, because I'm sure everyone will ask for it at some point. But yes, thank you all for listening. I guess that's your lot for this list. We're going to try and do a few more lists like these. We'll invite various people over to do them, but obviously my thanks to Mr. Kevin and to the Random Genius.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we'll see you for whatever next list we do. I know the one I'm recording after this will probably be our Game of the Year awards. Spoiler, we're recording this before I do my Game of the Year awards because it's not yet December. Take care,
Time
everyone.
is a construct of human perception.
Bye.
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 ゼルダの伝説出るついに出るゴージャス今度の冒険リアル君もすぐに体験憎いでやんすね昆虫ショー高画質の謎解きアクション戸惑うことなくのめり込もうもちのろんスーパーファミコン真剣勝負今宵もゼルダは最高潮スーパーファミコンゼルダの伝説ついに出る
7 p.m. on a Sunday wouldn't be the same without the LMC block. Tune in for an hour of fun every week to kickstart your Sunday evening with shows from Last Minute Continues Community Archive, as well as brand new episodes premiering on Radio Sega on LMC Cast. Join the crew for fun and laughs as they battle each other for gaming supremacy and discuss their latest entertainment experiences, good and bad. And don't forget the show that started it all. Join Kevin for hot music and hotter topics in brand new episodes of Radio Redux. You don't want to miss it. That's the LMC block every Sunday at 7 p.m. on Radio Sega.